Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another vidIQ live stream. My name is Dan, and my headphones have not created a dent on the top of my head, which is great news. In other great news, there have been some monetization changes yesterday on YouTube, and we are going to be discussing those a little bit and then getting into the channel reviews. We were going to do this yesterday, but the news broke, and we were having technical difficulties. There was a perfect storm of, okay, we want to stream today, and so we're streaming now instead of yesterday. I say we because I'm not alone. Rob's here.
You stole my intro a little bit, Dan, there. I was going to say, so yesterday we decided for our community that we would hold back the live stream to let you take on board all of the monetization changes. That was the official reason, but the unofficial reason was, of course, I hold my hand up. I did something on the back end. It killed the entire channel for a small amount of time.
Yeah,
but we've managed to fix it. We're back, which can only mean one thing. We're live.
So your audio now is very loud. It just so you know, it sounds like it's clipping on your end.
Is that correct, everybody? Am I too loud here? Do you let me know in the chats, and I will adjust.
The volume is okay. It's the, you know what I mean? It's your microphone is like clipping, but I don't think you're blowing anybody away on their end. We were talking about.
I'm not sure why that would be.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, it's saying I am loud. All right. Okay.
Okay. Maybe you are blowing people away.
Right. Okay. Let me press some buttons on the back end. Right. I'm just gonna lower my microphone down to that. Is that lower?
That's better. I think everything's better now.
So if I talk a little loudly, that's not overly loud and clipping.
It does sound like it's starting to clip again when you do that.
All right. All right. Let's just
Someone
spend
said
the
I'm
first
quiet. So
half an hour do mic checks.
Yeah. So yes, we're still having technical problems, but that's okay. That's welcome to being live. Yeah, we wanted to discuss a little bit about some of these changes in case you missed the news or you wanted a bit of a deeper dive. Maybe if you have some questions, maybe we'll try and pick those out. But yes, there have been some updates to monetization and monetization requirements. For years now, the phrase has been, Rob, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time.
For more than 5 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Half a decade.
And YouTube has now made that harder to say.
Yes, because there's buts, whens, maybes, and possiblies.
Yes. So we have the blog here, the official blog post from YouTube. You want to find these, by the way, if you want to be up to date on YouTube news, just like Google YouTube blog. Like they have like an actual blog. They keep it up to date. They also have various YouTube channels where they're giving updates too. But this kind of goes over the entire thing. And the big piece of news here is, I highlighted it, but it's gone. So I think it's this paragraph right here.
Starting today. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So starting today, eligible creators will begin to be able to apply for YouTube Partnership Program earlier once they've met a threshold of 500 subscribers, 3 public uploads in the last 90 days, which seems fair. Like if you're here, you're probably doing that already. And either 3,000 watch hours in the past year or 3 million shorts views in the last 90 days, much more reasonable here. 3 million shorts views. These are the new partner unlock. These new partners will unlock access to fan funding features. So channel memberships, super chats, super stickers, super thanks, and the ability to promote their own products with their channel using YouTube Shopping. So that's like the big news. And if you only saw this as a tweet or somewhere else, you'd be like, oh my gosh, cool. My benchmarks are lower now. I can relax and rest easy knowing that at 500 subscribers, I can unlock all the same features that anyone else would unlock. But it's not quite like that, is it?
Nah.
So do you want to continue?
Yes. So as these creators continue to grow their channels, these channels that have just been accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, they'll automatically become eligible to earn revenue sharing from ads. So when we think about YouTube monetization, I would assume that the vast majority of people understand monetization as this: earning dollars from views. But you don't get it with that first introduction to YPP. Without having to go through the full YPP application in the process again. So what they're saying is you can do all of the stuff to get into YPP, and that is agreeing to a terms of service, setting up your AdSense account, which quite a few people seem to struggle with for whatever reason, and then get your channel reviewed and accepted at 500 subscribers, 3,000 watch hours, 3 million views, but not ad revenue. It's only when the existing eligibility criteria is met. So you may join the YouTube Partner Program in January 2023 with 500 subscribers. But let's say it takes you another 9 months to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time or 10 million shorts views. And that's when YouTube will likely send you a notification or an email saying, hey, you're now eligible for ad revenue, and you can now turn that on. So in the first instance here, Dan, because now YouTube have, and we're kind of going into opinions and thoughts now.
Yeah.
Because YouTube have fragmented the requirements of monetization. Although you could say they've done that in the past, because sometimes you needed like 10,000 subscribers to unlock memberships. Stuff has been lowered. But the base entry requirement into the YouTube Partner Program has always been ad revenue. Now that's like a second tier. It's not the first thing you get. And so this is why I've dubbed this new YPP level as like YouTube Partner Program Lite Edition.
Yeah.
You get tools which allow you to monetize your audience if you can persuade people watching your content and live streams to give you money like the Theology Truth has just done with us. Great. But you can't monetize the videos that you publish up to YouTube through ad revenue, at least to begin with. So that was my first thought about communication. People have it in their heads that when they get monetized, they can flip a switch and start earning $2 or $3 a day. That's not the case anymore. You got to work a lot harder, in my opinion, to cultivate your audience, to engage them, to mobilize them, to part over with their cash. And that's something that creators are going to have to try and get their heads around. What about your thoughts, Dan?
Yeah, so it's a few things. Tinfoil hats on for a second. I do think that this is a direct response. I always think this to Twitch because
I disagree with that, by the way.
Yeah, and that's fine. Twitch, anytime something seems to happen with Twitch, suddenly there's a big YouTube news. In the past few years, it's been like this. And just as Twitch once again kind of took something away from creators on the monetization end, YouTube has given something to creators. So again, I said tinfoil hats on because it's probably not that simple, but it is reminiscent of Twitch's same affiliate and partner split. So for years on Twitch, there's been affiliate criteria and partner criteria. And once you reach a very easy to clear, quote unquote, threshold on Twitch for views and watch hours and things like that, you unlock the affiliate program. It's very similar to what YouTube's doing here. You can have your fans give you money, basically. That's like what you unlock. And then when you get to partner level, way more views, way more watch time, things like that, that's when you get the ad revenue and more monetization features. YouTube's doing like the same thing now. So 500 subscribers is an easier bar to clear than 1,000 subscribers. And with 500, you can get, some monetization features. All of them, as you said, are money from your audience, essentially. My big question, and I think something that you and I will probably talk about in the coming weeks, months, so on, is should creators be monetizing in this way when they're just at 500 subscribers?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a really good question.
And it's going to be different for different channels. It depends on your business, your business goals. Some channels are in niches where they're getting like the most views you could get in that niche. It's just that niche, and they have like a thriving business. They're generating leads, and it doesn't matter if they're under 1,000 subscribers. They bring so much value that that small audience they have would be willing to give them money to support what they're doing on YouTube. But there's a lot of channels out there that are in much larger niches that we would tell you, hey, you should really be focused on just growing your audience and kind of figuring out where your channel is and how to get better at YouTube overall. And don't focus so much on the money stuff because it's distracting. To get people to be a member, you usually need to offer some kind of value. And if you want more members, you need to offer more value. And if you want higher membership tiers, those have to have more value. And how do you create value? Work. There's not a lot of things you can do where you can set and forget, like emotes. That's for our members. That's what we have right now. It is emotes. Will we expand in the future? I don't know. It depends on how we expand as a team, and how we want to do that. But emotes, that's what we offer. That's why the membership tier is so cheap. If you want to support the channel, you want to have some fun emotes, we got to add more, by the way. But you set them and forget them. It's like not a lot you have to actually do after that.
Which is the same as what you would do with your ad revenue on videos. You just set and forget. And it requires it's a low barrier to entry for earning revenue, as opposed to really cultivating your audience. I just did want to go back to the you think this is because of what's happening at Twitch. What I'll counter there is YouTube did announce that they were going to do this fan funding side of the monetization program way back in November, December. So I won't say that this is a direct response. The timing, maybe YouTube may have said, yeah, we were going to do this in August. Oh, Twitch is just self-imploded. Let's bring this in now and try and bring them over. So I think there is a potential argument there. And TikTok. Yeah. So my general thoughts are, very much the same as yours, Dan, in terms of should you be trying to monetize your audience when the audience is so small? But on the other side, you could be saying to your audience, hey, look, I've just reached this amazing milestone and you can help me and the tribe and the beliefs that we share to push us on to the next level for this YouTube channel. So if you help with super chats and super thanks, I can buy more equipment and I can make my content better, or I can, buy a subscription to vidIQ, et cetera, as well. So I think if the creator understands how to pitch to their audience, that is potentially a very powerful thing. But again, going back to my thought about the general mass of creators, I don't think they're equipped with the mindset and the skills at such an early point in their YouTube journey to know how to really capitalize on these tools. They mentioned Emily D. Baker and other creators in the blog post, but these are massive channels with massive followings and a team of people who can help them exploit these tools. And for the individual creator to start thinking about how to really make use of memberships, as you say, and make it scalable is really tough. But having said all of this, that's what I said on the video to a certain extent. I look at the voting poll now, and what do we see? Well, the original one I think I asked was, it looks like you've just changed it down, but I think I asked, do you think the monetization changes were good? And like 80% were really positive about it. 83. And the comments, like on the video I made yesterday, were almost unanimously like, yeah, this is brilliant. This is fantastic. This gets us in the door early, and it's like a motivational push. And that didn't really occur to me. I just hope all of these creators understand that what they're getting isn't the full monetization pie, which is what they're probably hoping for. Or maybe I'm still misinterpreting it. Maybe people just want some way, doesn't have to be ad revenue, but some way to start making money from their channel. I'm not going to say their audience or their content, just like making money from their channel.
Yeah, it's really great that like the door kind of opens up here a little bit, and it may also instill some like good practices for people who are kind of like thinking, I do want to make this a job, a business one day. They can start to kind of test the waters a little bit and see, how could I do that? What kind of value can I offer my audience? And hey, get the mistakes out of the way early. One of the things I did way back in the day when I had a Minecraft channel was I started a Minecraft server, and it was so much work. Even with people volunteering their time to moderate, it was a ton of work. Just getting people signed up was a lot of work. And then when they dropped their membership, we'd have to keep track of like when to take them out. Like so much logistics. It was not a fun experience. How am I supposed to enjoy playing Minecraft? How am I supposed to make videos on this thing when every single time I log on, there's a problem, there's a fire to put out? And that's what happens whenever you do like a big membership perk where you say, I'm going to write you a personalized letter when you become a member or something like that stacks up so quickly. The amount of labor you can put into this stuff. Get those mistakes out of the way. If you're thinking, Dan's wrong, I'm going to make a Minecraft server, it's going to be great. I'm going to write letters, it's going to be great. Do it. Do it now. Get it out of the way. Get it out of your system, because I promise you, it's so much work. It unless you got like a team of people helping you, it's a lot. But go ahead. Sorry.
So in summary for me, this is good news from YouTube. They've not taken anything away, but it's not the best news for creators who were probably hoping and expecting, when they saw all of these headlines yesterday, monetization requirements lowering, but not ad revenue. And as you say, Dan, I think we'll talk about it a lot more in the upcoming days and weeks. So what's your summary?
I agree with everything you said. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think that it's great to see. And also the reason I nixed your poll real quick and put up a new one was because I thought it'd be interesting to know from our audience. How many of you meet the new monetization requirements? And 71% of you say you do not meet them quite yet. But that's okay because you're in the right place.
So does that mean like a third of creators in this live stream have suddenly fallen in? Like they're in between 500 subscribers and 1,000 subscribers, and like now they have over 3,000 watch hours. That's incredible. If that is, I know I'm not sure on if that's technically right, but
yeah, we have to we have to reword it.
I guess another way to ask the question is, how many of you are suddenly now in the monetization bracket? That would be interesting to know.
Yeah. So what we do for anyone who's new to this live stream, what we do every week is we actually audit your channels. We review them. So there are 2 forms linked down below. We're going to play an explainer video here in a second that's going to explain how to do it. But you can be picked completely at random to have your channel reviewed. So,
and one final thing, Dan.
Yes.
We've had a discussion there, and I think this is perfect for us to turn into a video. So, Victoria, can you timestamp this? And I'm going to send this over to our editor, and we're going to try and get this out as a video. It's going to save us a job of having to refilm this.
Yeah, that'd be great. So there you go. And before we get into this, there were a couple supers. I don't want to get too far out of context with these.
Nice.
So we should probably grab them real quick.
All right, yeah.
So can I be full time while being a small YouTuber? Well, easier now than before, I suppose.
The answer is yes, but this requires income from outside of YouTube. What we're talking about here is consultancy businesses selling products, services, courses outside of YouTube, possibly merch. We're having Desiree on the channel soon, and she's going to cover how she makes a 6-figure income from 40,000 subscribers. So a bit bigger, but that is a full-time income. And you would consider her maybe a small to medium-sized channel.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the update. The VidIQ has helped me so much. I wonder if they mean our tools or yes, probably the monetization updates. But yes, thank you for the super. Glad that it's been helpful to you. We have Dirty Side here. Huge thanks to the less is more advice for thumbnails. Mine were always too cluttered, but a new video got lots of views with less in the thumbnail.
Nice. We'll try and pick out some which are committing that mistake today and let you know why it's not a good idea to mess up your thumbnails with too much stuff.
Yeah, I call those like thumbnail collages. And then Tennille, I hope I'm saying your name right. Love your content. Question: if a video you post isn't performing, how long should you leave it before changing the title? This is a good question, but changing the title of the thumbnail.
For us, after like half an hour, if it's 7 out of 10, like we'll just panic and go, run around. But we have John who can do alternative thumbnails, which is really helpful. It depends, I think, on the intent of your content. If it's like very time sensitive, or a video that you assume is going to perform well for a short amount of time and then tail off, then you want to be quite proactive. If the video is more has evergreen potential and search potential, then you've got to give it more time to breathe. And it may be that it's a poorly performing video to begin with, but it picks up over time. So it's, as always with this, it depends a little bit on the content.
Yeah. But no, it's a great question. I completely agree. It gives the audience easier methods to show appreciation for a channel. The new monetization just makes YouTube more appealing. That's what I'm saying. I mean, when you look at the competition, I don't know. Of course, I'm very biased, but yes, I agree.
Nate was mentioning like how he thinks. This is Nate from Channel Makers, by the way. He was mentioning how he thinks for the smaller channels, which are almost considered like Nate sort of equated them to like local businesses, and the fans who are in at the start, the OGs, kind of want to be really help these local businesses in their early stages. And so that's why there may be an argument that it does galvanize the audience when they're a much smaller channel. Right.
So thank you for your super chats. Throughout the day, we will try and take super chats and answer your questions. We're not going to be doing super chat channel reviews or anything like that. So do keep that in mind. But let's shift gears and start to review some channels here. We have a quick explainer here that's going to tell you how to do it.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started. Got a little behind the scenes there on that video. I refilmed a bit of it to include the AI coach, and because I use a different microphone now, what I had to do was plug in my old microphone, this one, to make sure that the audio integrity was kept for the re-recording of that section, because it would have sounded a little bit weird if it transitioned from how I sounded in a video to this microphone and then back to the other video. I'm filling here because it looks like Dan has a technical emergency right now. I think he's had a little bit of an accident with something and is cleaning up right now. So he'll be back very, very soon. But thank you for joining us as always. And yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? We're all going to be able to earn a lot more money much quicker. Dan still isn't ready. So, oh, yes, he is. Hello, Danny. All right.
Yes, I'm so sorry. Everything's really loud all of a sudden. I spilled water on the one thing that I really cannot have water on, and that's my sound mixer.
Whoops.
And I think it's broken. I think it's actually having
you sound perfectly fine right now. But if we lose you, you can mime. You can do charades for the duration of the channel audits.
I went to get a drink of water, and now disaster has struck. So if everything catches fire, I apologize.
Yeah, you're all right. You good?
I won't be, but for now I'm fine.
This is fine.
This is fine. You are still very loud. But now that might be my problem.
Why is that?
Okay. Yes, everything's good, and we're gonna review channels. And what might be broken is not expensive at all. Don't worry. It is not. It's very expensive.
Am I really? Oh, I can see it now. Yes, you are right. Why is that so loud? Right. Okay. Now I've reduced it. I think that should be better. Testing. 1, 2, 3. How loud am I? I wonder why that is. I haven't changed anything.
So, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that still too loud? What?
It's my end, I think. I broke this.
Okay. Oh, dear.
Okay. This is not good. Maybe you don't have anything set up. So
that is correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's just do our best. Let's. We have our first channel.
Yeah.
And that they submitted first on the form. So it's
Jabari's fitness channel. All right then, Don. So let me take over for a little bit here, and you continue to clean and test your stuff. So they are on the 500 sub challenge. So not only are they going to start releasing merch at that point, they might be able to monetize their channel, which is cool. And they're all about strength, discipline, and perseverance. Which is cool. Dan, if you can scroll down just like to the thumbnails if possible. So what we're seeing here, I think, is a lack of visual flair for the thing that's most important on their channel, which I believe is improving their fitness. So what you see on the right-hand side is an image of a person, whether they're incredibly muscly or they're losing weight, or it's a famous person. I think that's Dude Perfect in one of them, yeah. But I'm too distracted by the left-hand side of the thumbnail, which is a fairly vibrant color, including their channel name in all of the thumbnails, which I probably wouldn't bother doing because you've got some brand consistency there. I will say that. But too much text in most of these. And I know some of these are... Let's see, benching 145 pounds. All right, I'm looking at this thumbnail. I can see the text, but the thumbnail, I cannot see really at all what they're bench pressing, or whether it's a struggle or it's something easy to do, because the pictures seem so dark of actually what they're doing. Dan, are you recovered enough to add your thoughts?
Well, let me know. Is it too
Yeah,
loud?
you sound good. You sound fine.
Okay, it's very loud to me. So I think the thumbnail template they're using is not doing them a lot of favors. Mostly because it takes up half the screen.
Yep.
And when you think of fitness channels, like how about 5 fitness tips? There's always like a person lifting weights. There's a lot more going on in these thumbnails, you know. And they're zoomed in. It's not like it's a ton of detail. These aren't complicated thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of like things that these channels are doing that the hero channel we're looking at is not, where they kind of just put like a face or something. And that doesn't really say to me like fitness channel. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Now then, let's have a look at the titles and perhaps the target audience. So, how to use a massage gun to fix muscle soreness, the worst fitness mistakes beginners need to avoid, finding my new 1 rep max bench press. So maybe this is because I'm a bit of a novice in this space, but who are we targeting here? Are we targeting the gym rat who's like going to the gym every single day or working out every single day, and they're trying to improve to almost like athlete levels of fitness and strength and whatever? Or is it somebody who's a bit of a couch potato, they're playing video games, and all of a sudden they want to try and lose weights? I feel as if it's a more of the committed, hardworking type of client, but I'm not entirely sure on some of these. Only because I see like a massage gun tutorial. Does that mean that the person is working so hard and doing such intense workouts that they need to treat their muscles to repair them after hard workouts? Is that the case? If so, cool. I think more of your videos can be a bit more reinforcing that area.
Mm-hmm. So I think just that alone, this channel would turn around. Like there's probably a lot here. We didn't look at the content itself, but when I put my cursor on it, we can kind of see how they're set up.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that another thing with fitness channels is that we would kind of expect you to be, lifting some weights, running, doing some of those activities. Now, we don't know what B-roll is in this. We don't know how far the video goes without any of that action. But I would say that, the setup, this is an improvement. The latest video is an improvement compared to this one.
Yeah, but it's still somebody's front room, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you don't have like a gym in your garage or anything. I'm saying in the American way, garage.
Hey.
But yeah, I mean, could there be an opportunity where you just set up a corner of a room in the house which has dumbbells or weights of some kind, just to give you more of that authentic feel? Because I know, as you say, Dan, it's only a GIF illustration, but in 2 or 3 of these, it's you sat on a sofa, and that doesn't give me like the fitness vibe.
Right. Sorry, I'm just making sure there's no water behind my computer.
And just let me know in the chat if I'm too loud or it's just Dan who's struggling. So I want to try and get this right. If I am,
if you saw how low my volume slider was on my board, you wouldn't believe it. It's barely up, and I hear everything perfectly. Okay. So something is broken in here. Something's very, very broken. And I think it's getting more broken by the minute. Okay, so let's see how long we last here. Gamer Game was our first gaming channel to submit on the gaming forum. We have separated the 2 forums down below. And Gamer Game has 315 subscribers. They're playing games. What kind of games? Well, they're playing Pizza Time, which I believe is a horror game. Then they're playing some scary games here. But there's some different things going on. Like when I see horror gaming channels, I kind of expect thumbnails like this that are dark, that are ominous. But then we kind of go over here. I made a meta runner template for meme PS. Please give me credit and thank you. So I guess they made something. I wanted to share it.
What a way to title your video. Give me give me credit in this video for the title.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think that there is maybe some potential here. It looks like they do lean into this genre, but sometimes they kind of break away and do stuff like this. And it's not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's just when you look at all the videos, you kind of zoom out a little bit and look at everything they're doing, it does feel like they're lacking some channel focus. Quite a bit of channel focus, because we got Fortnite, we got what looks like it's also Fortnite. Okay. You're kind of catering to two totally different audiences. There's audiences that want to watch you kind of play games and get scared, and there's audience that out there that want to watch you play Fortnite. And one is going to be probably a little bit easier to break into than the other, because Fortnite's incredibly saturated. So there is that. If you prefer horror games, I would say lean into this first and foremost. And then thumbnails. Thumbnails need some work. There are a lot of examples out there. Like, we can do this again. Pizza time game. Oh, is this something else? Pizza time with murder monkeys. Is that a thing?
Nope. Oh, is it? Oh, right. Okay. This is a game, is it? Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So these thumbnails, even though it's a very dark game, have been edited so you can see them a lot better. Even this thumbnail is, I would say, better, because at least you can kind of read what's going on, and then you can have the character looking, kind of nuts on the side there. These are really good examples, if you're going to be playing this game, of what you can do to kind of like simplify your thumbnails a bit. I say that because I also see some really dark, like, pizzas in the corners, and then there's the logo, and then there's other characters, and the monkey character, and there's so much going on, and it's also, all of it's hard to see. So I would be making those tweaks and continuing to try different trending horror games, and just go down that road for a bit. Just try it.
I would also ask the creator, what is the overall theme of the content? Because from the titles, I can't necessarily work out if it's let's play content or it's updates to games and news, or if it's challenges, or like a certain approach that the viewer gets comfortable and familiar with. I think if you scroll down just a little bit, Dan, there was one that I saw for Fortnite. This one here, God Mode Fortnite Chapter Season 1. So is this you just playing God Mode? Or is this a theme of when you play games, you only play it in a God Mode because you just want to kill and destroy everything? That's not clear, and I think I just get that through all of these. Like, we're back, Fortnite Desert Zone War. That seems a very different theme within the same game. And, we're not going to push you down the route of doing let's play content, because we've spoken of that many times before. But are you trying to entertain your viewers through comedy? Or are you trying to tell stories? Are you trying to do something which is so unique, like a challenge that's impossible to achieve, but you're going to achieve it, that makes your audience want to come back and watch you want to do it? Because if you have a theme with your content, then potentially you can play different games. But if you don't have a theme and you don't have a particular game or topic, then you are just another gaming channel. And that's what I'm seeing at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
All right, Dan, you know what we need to do now? We need to remove the screen, because it's time to indulge ourselves in Gaming Corner. First of all, you've got to guess the gaming jingle this week. Where does that come from? And secondly, what game have you been playing this week? And I will go first this week, because it's pretty simple and it's pretty obvious. God of War Ragnarok is going to continue to consume my gaming time, probably for months. I'm getting into it. It's brilliant. What amazes me about God of War is, like, you'll do this epic story, part of the storyline, and then just another massive part of the world opens up. It's like, oh, I've got all of these side missions to do as well. So I'm currently doing that with a female character in the game, which may give you an indication of how far through I am, but I don't want to spoil anything. It's just amazing. It's brilliant. I love it. It's as good as the first one. I'll be playing it for months. Dan, is it RuneScape still? Is it RuneScape?
Well,
Is that
Oh
right?
yeah,
I don't know.
that addiction's going strong. I haven't played it yet, but I did pick up Diablo 4 finally.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've played any Diablo games.
I played Diablo 3 for a while and it was good, but it got very repetitive about 20 hours in and I never sustained my gameplay through it.
So, yeah, I haven't played it yet, but the reason I got it was because I had this thing in my brain and I'm like, wait a minute. Is that a thought? And that thought led me to search for a video about Diablo on the Steam Deck. And sure enough, the Steam Deck can do anything. So I ended up buying it just for that.
All right.
I want to play it anyway, but the fact that I can play it on my Steam Deck and it runs great, the controller support is built into where the person in the video didn't even need to tell it, hey, I'm using a controller. It just, that's how well it worked. There were a couple steps to get it installed, but like, it's my favorite thing I've ever bought. And I'm glad I didn't spill water on it.
So these are all of the games you are playing. And yes, you are indeed correct. That is from one of the, I would say, not failed, but less well received Nintendo game consoles, the GameCube. I remember buying one of what I used to do when I was really into gaming back in the day is I would not import, but I would buy imported machines. So like back in the day, Dan, let's say the GameCube came out in May in the US. It wouldn't be out until Christmas in the UK. There'd be like a 6-month delay. But on top of that, you had NTSC and PAL versions of games for like different television systems in different continents. So if you bought the American GameCube, you could only buy American games, which made things really expensive. But I remember getting the GameCube with Rogue, what was it called? The Star Wars game, Rogue Leader 2. And at that time, the graphics just blew me away. And yeah, I think I could get on the Steam if I wanted to. Steam Deck, since I have one, which I never play on. But anyway, are we done with Gaming Corner?
Well,
Sorry, I was indulging myself.
One thing about the GameCube is to this day, Nintendo hates the GameCube library, which stinks because it's like some of my favorite games are on GameCube. And it's really, really hard unless you have a Wii or a GameCube to actually play those games. So if Nintendo, I know they're big fans of our channel. Please let me rebuy some GameCube games. That'd be great. All right. Yeah. No, now I'm moving on. So the next channel was one I picked. It's called Dachshund Daily. Which is a pretty big promise. Dachshunds every single day. It's not quite playing out. It looks like they went strong a couple weeks ago, and not a whole lot of videos yet. Bunch of shorts though, and
cute dog.
Yes, and these look great. Like the camera quality of these. Okay, it's loud. Sorry. So these are just image. Oh, that's okay. Cool. They're doing some AI stuff. So they took a picture of their dog and then, asked AI to make it out of Legos.
You've been dabbling a bit in that sort of stuff recently, Dan, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What I think would have benefited this is a narrator saying like, this is a picture of my dog. What happens if I give it to AI? You know, even that alone. And then you could show the different images. I think that would have gotten a lot more views because when we talk about shorts, we always think about like, what someone hears and sees the second they scroll to it. What's that first few seconds like? And when it's just loud music and a picture of a dog, it's like cute.
I know you've had a long week.
So yeah, like there's nothing necessarily wrong with these. They're experimenting with a lot of different stuff, but I think they would find a lot more views if people kind of got context as soon as they scroll to it. So it's something that takes practice. I would watch a lot of shorts to kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. I always recommend people take notes as they're watching. Why did you stop scrolling on this? And you know, what was it about it that got you really excited?
I don't know if you know, Dan, but did this channel pitch themselves as a shorts channel or a long form content channel?
I thought it was long form, but now I'm seeing shorts. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I looked. There's a lot of shorts. Let's see the most popular ones.
There is.
29K, 12K. Okay, cool. So let's see this one. So yeah, just music. If my dog had a trailer of his life. So when we talk about context, that was great. Like just music, which is fine. And then you put a nice big caption for like a good chunk of the intro so people can read what it is you're trying to say. I'm making a trailer about my dog. And now I can enjoy the adorable dog videos. And this is a really good way, a really strong way to start a short. You don't always need that narrator I mentioned before. You can.
They are cute dogs.
They are
really cute dogs.
You can just do that. Let's talk about their long form videos though, because this is the big reason I stopped on this channel, because they posted one as of 3 days ago. I assume long form is something they're interested in doing. So we can give some tips here. What's the first thing you're noticing?
I personally, I don't like the format of the thumbnails where they're relying on a solid color background. I just don't think it plays well into the cute animals, cute dogs, cute cats genre. I would want to be seeing a big zoomed in image of the dog. And if you need to try and separate the foreground and the background, just try cut out the animal. And then that allows you to blur the background if you need to do that. I'm sure, Dan, if you did some searches, you don't have to, but I'm sure if you did some searches, you would find some really cool thumbnails to use as examples, or like in the actual action of the maze, as we can see there in a couple of examples.
Yeah, I just typed in dog maze, and no one's really going to search for dog maze. But the fact that you made a maze for your dog is something people have done. And when I think of that, this thumbnail here with the maze and the dogs, this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see the built maze, and I want to see a dog in it. And that communicates a very, very clear message. I don't need to think about what this video is about. I don't need to read the title. I know everything I need to know. And when I put my cursor on it, you get to see that they're going out and telling a story too. It's like, without even looking at the video, I can already imagine this person saying, so I want to build a maze for my dogs. I've kind of designed it on paper here, and this is the route that, I'll even show them how to get there. Look, dogs, like, this will be easy. I love the story that this channel's like telling here. We don't really get that from your content, because it's just, I built a maze for my dogs, and it's a picture of a clip art of a maze, and it doesn't, is this the maze you built? Like, I see dogs, but like, you actually built something here, and this would have made somewhere a zoomed out version of this would have made a much better thumbnail. That's
cool. You can see in the first 10 seconds that the creators put some considerable effort into this, but the thumbnail doesn't really tease that in an effective way. Yeah. And I also think that the title could be better. I've built a maze for my dogs. I think that's far less interesting than maybe creating a bit of tension or crisis in that. I built a maze for my dogs and lost them, or some curiosity to make it more interesting. I don't think people are necessarily interested in you, the creator, building the maze. They're interested in how the dogs interacted with that maze. Because I saw when you did a quick search, Dan, the successful videos were about the competitive nature of it. Which dog would perhaps win in the maze. Not maze finding, what would it? Escaping the maze competition.
Right. So I want to talk real quick about storytelling, because that other video got me thinking. This is another opportunity. Like, we tell people, like, sometimes, hey, maybe experiment with storytelling. We don't give a lot of examples, and it's something we're also experimenting with more and more on the vidIQ channel. If you watch some of our recent videos, you'll notice that we're trying more and more storytelling in our content. It's one thing to build a maze for your dogs, and it's cool. That's a whole video if you want it to be. It's another thing, though, to do what that other channel was doing and say, I'm going to build this maze and take the viewer on the journey with you. That's kind of the difference between I built something and I filmed it and I put it on YouTube versus I'm going to tell a story with a thing that I want to do. And with pet channels like this, that's such an opportunity. We see it all the time. Maze runner talks.
That's a cool way of pitching it.
Yeah, it is. So it's just another opportunity. I'm not trying to fault this creator and say they did something wrong or anything. I'm saying that as you look to make more long form content in the future, think about the things you can do in long form videos that you can't really do in shorts because you don't have a lot of time. You can really take people on that journey. You can bring us to the store and buy the cardboard and all the stuff and the tape and talk about how I'm going to get this cardboard because, it doesn't fall over as easy. Like, a great creator, Liam Thompson. This is a creator you may or may not have heard of. He builds stuff a lot on his channel. And let's see, Liam Thompson. He does this stuff all the time. So I built a mirror that roasts your outfit. I haven't seen this one yet. Whenever he does this, he introduces himself. He shows like a boring mirror in this case, and then he brings you in the whole process of him building this mirror. he could do the video in 1 minute with just showing a mirror that's roasting his outfit, but it's way more engaging that he like brings you along on the journey of the silly thing that he's made.
I'm just highlighting all of these amazing title ideas, by the way. There's some really good, cool ones here.
Yeah. This is another good time to mention, like, we have a Discord server, and if you're looking for tips like that, like, our community is so creative, and sometimes it's nice to get a second set of eyes on something. So check out our Discord community. It's linked down below, vidiq.com/discord, and collaborate with other creators just like you. But yes, Rob, you've picked a channel. Would you like to move on to that one?
Sure, let's do that.
All
yeah,
right.
so hello to Ben Jager. I hope I'm pronouncing your surname correctly. I chose this one, Dan, because I do not believe we have ever audited a hoodie apparel channel. And I put this in the same camp as maybe a channel that reviews or collects sneakers, trainers, you might call them in the UK. And they're relatively new to YouTube, so 73 subscribers at this point. They've been on YouTube for what looks to be a couple of months. And, you know, we already have some success here. They're approaching 100 subscribers. Each of their videos has got over 100 views. And I think for a channel that's at this point in their journey, that is fantastic. More views and subscribers in every single video. That's brilliant to see. And my assumption is because you've picked a underserved category on YouTube, and there's already some promise in these thumbnails. You know, when you take a look at them in terms of how cluttered are they, well, not too bad. There's like 3 or 4 elements on each thumbnail max. There tends to be some key indicators to direct your eyes. The arrow one, as typical, it is used a lot, but if it's used effectively, it's pretty good. And yeah, I just think in terms of the titles, there's something interesting going on here with all of the content. And at an early stage, this is really promising. And so I would see this as this channel builds its tribe and its community and finds YouTube is probably going to have an easier job finding similar viewers to the content that Ben makes that are not served well enough in the hoodie genre of YouTube. And so I can see their channel, you know, snowballing in terms of growth. And just like, what is the ceiling for this channel might be a question. But you would hope that they'd be able to maybe expand out a little bit into other types of clothing, if that is the case, you know, whether it be trainers, sweatpants, that type of thing. It's all like there's going to be, a Venn diagram there where they can share audiences. But for right now, hoodies, I think you're spot on.
Well, one thing I look at and I see a...
It's only 2, Dan. I've muted it. It's only 2.
The one thing I'm looking at and seeing like an opportunity is when you do things like, combining 3 hoodies into one. I made DIY jorts, storytelling. Like, I have this talent. I did a thing. And a lot of people would watch this, even if they're not interested in making their own jorts or hoodies. When you do videos like The Secret to Making Custom Hoodies, it kind of feels like this video is specifically for people who are interested in making custom hoodies, which narrows your focus significantly. There's probably a good amount of people out there, but you're almost pitching the video to people who are like only for people who make hoodies, when this could probably be content for anybody. And you could still talk about how you made it and stuff, and people who want to get that value can get it. But I'd always be thinking about that broader audience with this type of content. That's just where I'm coming from. And the other example I could give you is, as you continue to develop your content, maybe go out and make a hoodie or a piece of clothing for a big YouTuber.
Yep.
Maybe
Brilliant
not the biggest
idea.
YouTuber. Don't just jump to Mr. Beast right away. But could you maybe start getting your name out there, by taking a YouTuber going, oh my gosh, they have this thing they do in their channel. They don't have the custom merch for it. So I'm going to make it, and I'm going to, you could even go a step further. I'm going to try to deliver it to them, but do that carefully. You don't just like chase people down. But like, I see that and I'm like, this is just like those channels that like, they have a really specific skill set and then they go out and make something in service of like another YouTuber. And I feel like this creator could probably do that in the future.
This is code for Dan needs a new hoodie. But yeah, the secret to making custom hoodies, that could so easily be switched to, I made the hoodie for either blank YouTuber or blank somebody you aspire to in the business of clothing or hoodies. Like, is there a popular hoodie wearer. I don't know. I have no idea about this genre, but yeah, Dan, I think tying it into a popular YouTuber is a great idea, and I think you're bringing up an example here of somebody who did that, right?
So this channel, Sticks, is you're going to learn about this channel. You will hear about this channel. I'm just sure of it. They are making movies for YouTubers. They do one for Eric, and they do one for Ryan Trahan, and they're working on more. They kind of end up making like a trailer for a movie, but they got like an actor that looked like Ryan Trahan, and they told his story based on researching him, listening to podcasts where he's kind of told different parts of his story, and they present it as like, we surprised Ryan Trahan with his own movie, you know, and they even have another video of the actual like movie trailer they made. So they got like 2 videos out of it, and they're incredible. They're incredible storytellers. They're incredible filmmakers. They're fun to watch. This is the next like big YouTube channel, is one I stumbled upon because I think I watched Ryan Trahan, you know, and so it came up in my feed, and this is this is the channel I'm thinking of when I think about the hoodie channel. Like, I'm not saying you should just jump straight to doing that, like, you know, but you could see that happening in the future where they're like, I made a hoodie for so and so, and maybe you get in touch with them somehow, talk to their agent or whatever it is, and see like, I want to deliver this to them. I want to make a video out of it. That's how these kind of opportunities come up, is like you have like a talent, you have something really unique about you, and you do something for somebody else.
VidCon is coming up in like a week or 2. Could you identify a popular YouTuber who you know's going, and then you can catch them like when they're on stage or something and present it to them? Again, Dan, I don't know if that's stepping over personal boundaries or anything, but it's a public space. You're never going to be there. They want to meet the fans.
Yeah. So there you go. That is Ben Jager. We hope we're saying your name right. Go ahead.
Quick intermission, Dan. Can you put me on full screen? Because I want to quickly show you a fantastic tool that we have here at vidIQ, which is completely free. And I'm going through it myself, and I'm really enjoying the process, because it's something a little different to the tools that we offer you. It's more about your mindset and setting a plan in place for your channels to grow successfully. So what you need to do right now is to get your phone and go to either the Play Store or the App Store and type in vidIQ, and you will find our app. And what it will do when you install it is, before it starts, you know, throwing you in at the deep end with tools, it's going to take you on a journey. It's going to ask you, like, how serious are you about YouTube? What are your goals? And it's going to build a plan for you based on that. So I'm going through it right now on the vidIQ channel. And as you can see, it's saying that I want to try and reach 130 million views on a vidIQ channel by the end of November. And then it's giving me tasks. Like, I've got to do some research today on similar channels, but also it takes me through lessons. So we've got a growth plan here one. If I tap that, and, you know, it takes you through lessons. And these are not long lessons. They'll take about 15 minutes, and it'll just ask you lots of questions, and you've got to answer quizzes. And it helps you understand the key things that you should focus on YouTube. So, you know, it's talking about how we are going to optimize for people instead of robots. And then I can go on to the next part. And again, these aren't like massive sections of stuff. You're not going to be there for hours at a time. But if you say you want to work hard at YouTube, you'll get more lessons per day. And as I say, this is a free aspect of vidIQ. It's called, we kind of internally call it the coach approach. So it is available on the Play Store and iOS. I think we'll probably have a link in the description of this live stream somewhere towards the bottom. But if not, open up your App Store, vidIQ, start learning. Thank you, Dan, for allowing me to indulge in some of our awesome tools.
Yeah. By the way, let me know if my audio gets crazier, because it's starting to continue to break. We have a what is it? Discord. I mentioned the Discord server a little bit ago.
Yay!
And sometimes our community manager Vicky puts up fun challenges to get channel reviews, and we have a challenge winner this week. I believe this was getting a certain set of emojis, and then you have to use them to tell a story.
Yep.
So, Destroyer here told a story that won them the audit this week. And by the way, like, I'm just gonna put this out there for Victoria. When these come up, be sure to follow the instructions, because she wanted people to tell much less of an expanded story, so it's easier to read on stream. And we got stories like this. So
we're gonna read it out there, right?
See this come up again. Like, you can make a shorter story for us.
Yeah. Let's do a paragraph each, then. I think that'll be fair.
Okay, so he peered through the narrow gap in the faded curtains, eyeing the bunny dancers on the dimly lit stage. A quick glance around the crowded main hall yielded no sighting of his prize.
I don't think you're doing this justice, Dan. You got to get into the like audible narration style.
My audio is not my thing today.
Detective Rob leaned back dejectedly, switching his flashlight on, taking a good look at the backstage. Nothing particularly exciting or out of the ordinary to be found here. Ropes suspending the curtains, counterweights of sand attached to large, shiny brass hooks, keeping everything precisely where it needs to be. He let out an exasperated sigh. His frustrations were growing by the minute. Why has it been so difficult to find this? He muttered to himself, kicking a pile of ropes by his foot.
He let out a sharp yelp of pain in his pristine... as his pristine shine shoe came into contact with a solid object behind the frayed coil of ropes. Sorry. Reading is hard. After massaging his rather sore foot, he pointed his fading flashlight at what he had just kicked. A very solidly and surprisingly obvious gold and red present box. A blazing red lobster was torn upon. What? Something incredibly striking in such a dimly lit environment. It had been by his feet the entire time. A slight chuckle escaped his lips as he bent down to unveil his prize, a large sack of cash.
Hey.
Had been promised to him from inside the box. If, of course, he managed to find it. Breaking it open, his mind was spinning over how fortunate he had been to find it successfully.
However, within the box, a single lonely lobster, hungry, scared, and ready to escape at any opportunity, was waiting. Oh, they've left it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, that sounds like they got eaten by a lobster.
What's going to happen? Who is a lobster?
Detective Rob is dead.
What's their superpower? Yeah, why am I in this? Where's Dan? And more importantly,
I think.
Where's Jeff?
Okay, 9 Destroyer. So this is their channel. That story won them a channel review.
Is that what we're doing this live stream? So sorry, I thought we just read short stories.
Okay, so they are playing World of Tanks. I got it, World of Tanks, and they are experimenting quite a bit, I would say, with titles especially, and they're trying to, I think, go the route of having a clear thumbnail. You know, just something you can look at and kind of try and get the gist of the video just by looking at it. What are you seeing? I think for me, titles could use some work.
So they are ensuring their SEO opportunity here by making sure that they just plonk in World of Tanks in some of the titles. Could you experiment with just not including World of Tanks in the title and the thumbnail is strong enough? I don't know. Maybe that's a bit too risky, given the title, the thumbnails, which do show tanks, but I don't know if they necessarily relate to World of Tanks. I don't know how easy it is to differentiate a tank from this game versus Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc., etc. What I will say, just from a channel perspective, is that they have 400 subscribers, 80 videos, and each video is getting way more than 100 views, and some of them are kind of bumping above 500 views. There seems to be like quite a peak and troughs type of content. Like some will get about 200, some will get 600, 700. So the audience is definitely gravitating to maybe a certain style or theme. So what's the pattern there? Is it the thumbnails? Is it because you're reviewing a tank or showing an exploit in a tank? You know, what is the pattern here so you can trim the fat a little bit? There is still work to be done, but I think they're working from a place of simplicity. Like the thumbnails aren't too busy. The text just with the exception of V's kind of suck one, where I think it's quite interestingly used, the text just there. It's just on screen trying to serve a... Well, Renegade's bigger brother, I kind of like the way that one's and pitched as well, just because, you know, you have a turret facing directly at you. It's kind of menacing. So this promise here, Dan, I think there's promise. They've got the niche down. They know what game they're playing, and it's not Let's Plays. So they've already passed level 1 of how to make and start a gaming channel. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of positive signs here for sure. I mean, some of the videos getting over 500 views, 800 views. They have 400 subscribers. So yeah, like a lot of really good stuff. I think it's just tweaks. For example, they're using a lot of red text in a number of their thumbnails. Even though it's easy to read in general, for red text, I can read it. The problem with red text is a lot of times your eyes kind of skip over it. And so even if you have a nice clear font like you have, we generally recommend not using this kind of text, because I can read Renegades, but you said bigger brother. I'm like, which one are you looking at? And I had to like focus really hard to like find it. You know, it's like my eyes just don't naturally go to that text. White text with like a shadow or a black stroke on it is always way easier to read, just in general. So that's like one tip. Red text on thumbnails, difficult to read. Titles. I get the need to put this here, right? This crazy list of characters and stuff, numbers. I get that it's for search, but it probably shouldn't be at the very front of your title. It's maybe at the very end of your title, if at all, but like Funky Battle Pass Reward is a much more interesting title than Funky Battle Pass Reward.
What was that noise? Can you just do it again? That wasn't your microphone failing a bit more, was it?
No, that was
actual Dan noise. Okay.
So just some general tips there, I think.
Final thought from me. Last video was posted 3 weeks ago. Are they doing shorts? Just wondering if they're on a break or so they are doing some shorts as well. You know, I'm starting to see a pattern here, Dan. I don't know about you, but like for the last few weeks when we've been auditing channels, it looks like when a channel has less than 1,000 subscribers, the ceiling for their shorts views is like 1,500 views. I'm seeing that number so often now. People get about 1,000, 1,500 views on their shorts. I want to see if I can confirm this suspicion I now have with more channels that we audit.
I've had channels with like no subscribers and shorts blow up. I don't know. It sounds maybe, but it sounds kind of conspiracy to me.
Maybe.
Let me listen to it.
Okay.
So it is music.
Music. No music.
So the problem with gaming shorts like this, and this is just my opinion as somebody who watches some gaming content, is that I don't know what's happening. I'm not you. So you had a moment in a game. I need a little more context, because when I scroll to a short and I hear music and there's something happening on the screen, I'm not drawn into it. Like if you had come on and said, I was playing World of Tanks the other day and you'll never believe like what happened. And then you can see like, look, he flipped upside down. Like you almost in this context have to over explain it. And that's because shorts go out to people who may not necessarily know what this game is. Like shorts are tested with a very broad audience when they first get launched. So for the best opportunity to have like a lot of people interested, even if they're not fans of the game, my recommendation is like, make sure you do that dummy check when you put it, when you play it on your phone. Like, would I stop scrolling if this randomly appeared after a puppy video or a cooking video like that? Because YouTube's going to put it in between all kinds of stuff. So I think, yes, it is interesting that we are seeing these similar numbers over and over again when you see
look at this conspiracy confirmed. All the comments.
But don't you think it speaks to just people's overall experience as creators? Like they're still learning. I don't know.
I know. I'm teasing.
It's interesting. But yeah, I would love to see them try some shorts where they over explain what's happening a little bit. Because that could definitely get people to stop scrolling.
Maybe that's YouTube's default testing phase now. Yeah. You know, we'll give you, and I'm not going to call these views. I'm going to call them impressions. Like I'm going to give you 1,500 to 2,000 opportunities in front of viewers to get some data. Because obviously we don't show you the thumbnail. You know, through this Shorts play, you have to watch it for at least 2 or 3 seconds. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know. Should maybe try and get some data on that.
No, it'd be really interesting to see just a bunch of channels in a row like that.
Yeah.
A bunch of examples.
So, what do you think, Dan? Super chats next?
Yeah, let's do some super chats, and then we will continue reviewing channels.
Ooh, sorry, that's going to be way loud.
I'm loud?
No, the music. I think that's fixed.
Sid's Picks Travel. I normally create fast-paced 5-minute to 10-minute travel videos. I am also planning on to create around a 30-minute relaxing, slow-paced travel video. New channel or same?
Oh, I think at this point test. I don't think you probably want to. If a topic is the same, I think it's worth testing at this point. There is an argument that obviously a huge difference in the length of videos is going to, as you say, change the pace and change the potential target audience. But I think you're probably allowed some experimentation from that point of view. Like, we tend to do 5 to 10 minute videos, but we are experimenting on this channel with longer form, almost kind of like mini podcast conversations. And we're not seeing it have a detrimental impact on the performance of our normal content.
Right. Yeah. No harm in testing it on your channel. And I've tested a few of those, honestly. I don't think it'll break anything because it is similar to me. Let's go ahead before we go to the next one and bring in Viper.
What's up, Rob? What's up, Dan? How y'all doing today?
Hello, Viper. Are you sporting like some mock-up Apple Pro Vision glasses?
No, God,
to get
absolutely not. No. I am passing on that. Everybody knows my opinion about that. I am passing on Gen 1. That's for y'all.
Well, welcome. We're reading Super Chats. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
And let's go ahead and get to the next one, which is not really a Super Chat. Just
I'd say, Dan, let's let Viper answer the next question whenever it comes up.
Yes. And that's this one. Can y'all have thumbnail reader like AI? Wait, what?
Huh? Well, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Can we have a thumbnail reader like, so maybe an AI thumbnail audit machine?
Okay.
If you're talking about programs that could kind of create thumbnails, or AI programs that could create thumbnails, I keep hearing about something called Midjourney, so you may want to look into that.
Go ahead.
Google's had a tool that's able to basically scan any image and give you a lot of information about it, but it's all technical. Like, there's a 67% chance that there's a face in this thumbnail, and this is our rating on whether it's rude or humorous or like safe for content. But like, I don't think anybody's yet perfected a tool that can read thumbnails and say, yes, this is 100% going to work on YouTube. We were actually having an internal conversation about this yesterday, because thumbnails for different genres can be very different. Like, if you're doing a vlog, you want somebody, face one side, pointing at objects in the other side, that would be like maybe a vlog. But for a cake, you probably wouldn't, for a cooking channel, you wouldn't want a face in the thumbnail. You just want a slice of cake and it be looking delicious. And so is AI sophisticated to do that now? Probably not, but probably tomorrow, since AI is advancing so quickly. Did I steal that answer from you, Viper? Sorry, something came into my head and I wanted to say it.
Kevin Quayle Show. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm happy about the change. I have a merch store. I've had a merch store since day one on my channel, so it'll be good to promote it right. But it would be nice if it was ads. So I think what they're saying is it'd be nice to have ads, but at least now I can use my like Shopify store or whatever it might be on my channel.
It's a start.
Yeah. Okay. Let me talk about this for a minute since I'm here. A lot of you all, some of you all were actually not really happy with the announcement yesterday for whatever reason, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I think some of you all were disappointed because you don't have access to ad revenue. Let me tell you all, as a person that's been doing it for 5 years, when you first get monetized and get ad revenue as a small creator, you get pennies. You don't make much money, if any. So the announcement that came down yesterday, giving you all access to fan funding, is much more important and will make you much more money than any ad revenue will make at your size channel. If you're 1,000 subscribers or less, or even 10,000 subscribers or less, ad revenue is not going to be a big chunk of money for you all. You're not missing anything. Let me repeat that. You are not missing anything by not having access to ad revenue right now. The money that you're going to be able to make, the big money, will come from fan funding, channel membership, super chat, super sticker, super things, having access to the shopping platform. Those things will make you so much more money than any YouTube ad revenue will make you at this point in your career. So you're not missing anything. So I need you all to get that out of your mind. Ad revenue, you're not missing anything. I'm sorry. You're just not.
Asterisks in Viper's opinion.
Right.
That's
we said we had differing opinions. Well, not
really,
not conflicting opinions, differing opinions.
Well, wait. No, now I mentioned it. So you think they can make a decent money from ad revenue at their channel time?
So I think it is difficult to monetize your audience when it's so small. And let's say you're getting, you might be getting 300 or 400 views per video. Can you get even 1% of them to give you super thanks and stuff? Because even we don't do it as a channel of our size, saying that we're not trying to mobilize our audience. But Viper, what we should probably do is have a podcast conversation about this, because we could talk about this until the top of the hour if we did.
Right.
I guess my other argument is that I don't think creators are equipped at that stage in their journey when they're just figuring out YouTube. Then they've got to try and figure out how to turn their audience into a business. Whereas with just ad revenue, it's set and forget. You're all, even if you put no more work into monetizing your audience, you're still getting that steady trickle of income.
Okay, with that, I agree with you. With that. With turning your audience into a business, it's not just simple as having access to it. You are absolutely right about that.
So we'll move on to the.
We'll call it a draw.
It's like remove it all.
I want to jump in, but I know it'll take the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Fit Life Revolution, thank you for the super. Matt Cave Gaming, I always learn so much from you guys. Thank you. Do you happen to know when the new YouTube partner requirements will be visible in studio?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually, Viper, because it said yesterday.
I've been getting the question a lot since yesterday. So here's the thing. Anytime YouTube makes a change like this, it's not like they're flipping a switch and everything happens automatically. It's always a gradual rollout. And as I told you guys on the socials yesterday, it's only being rolled out right now in 5 countries, that being the US, UK, Canada, North Korea, and Taiwan. So
not North Korea.
South Korea.
That would be fascinating. That would be truly global news if YouTube were monetizing in North Korea.
Okay.
You heard it here first, folks.
US, UK, Canada, South Korea, Taiwan. So if you're not in those 5 countries, you're not going to see it. But even if you are in those 5 countries, it's a gradual rollout. So this could take days, weeks, we don't know. But YouTube is doing it. They're rolling it out right now. So I would say probably if you're in the US at the very least, by the end of the week, you should see it. I would imagine. I don't know, though.
All right. Next up, we have Yates Man. How come you advise against Let's Plays? As a Let's Play channel, let me crack my knuckles here. As a Let's Play channel, and seen quite a few do well in 2023, I was just wondering, much love to you guys. So I don't advise against Let's Plays exactly. What I advise against is making something on the surface look like it's going to be kind of boring. So one of the things we see a lot of gaming channels do, especially when they're just starting out, and I think this is good. Like, listen, I think it's good to practice, but that's what I kind of see this content as I'm about to describe, practice. We see channels that kind of like, they get a game, usually like Minecraft or something, and they play it and they don't really know what to tell you they did, because not a lot happened maybe. Admittedly, they may have hit record and they maybe built their Minecraft house. So they're just like, Minecraft Let's Play episode 1. That's like the worst case scenario. In the better case, you'll see, I built a house in Minecraft episode 1. And they're like telling you, I'm about to do this journey. I'm about to like do this episodic playthrough. And there are people who like to watch a Minecraft world progress over time. Or if it's like a building game, any kind of design game, they love to see progress. So it's not necessarily the episode numbers are like the worst thing about it or anything. It's just the idea that you could reach so many more people if you plan your content out. It's not just me hitting record and playing Minecraft. It's me hitting record after I've done a bunch of planning and scripting and things like that. And it doesn't have to be, you can still have it be organic and have things happen. But what if you were to set some dominoes up beforehand? Dominoes being like, turn a phrase here. So maybe you think I would love to do a video where I find a companion in Minecraft, like a sheep or something, and I give it a name. So, maybe you either scout out some sheep beforehand, so you're not recording it. You're just like, okay, maybe I'll kind of go in this direction. Or you cheat and spawn in a sheep and just kind of put them somewhere so you can find them in the video. Oh, look, a sheep. That's what we were looking for. Like, sounds kind of cheeky, but creators do stuff like that all the time because, again, they're trying to tell a story. And I think a good Let's Play tells a story. Like, don't just look at it as I'm going to turn on and record. You can get some views that way. You can get a lot more views if your content's planned out, if that title and thumbnail make it look like it's been planned out. You don't have to cheat the system like I recommended. There's other ways to do that, but I'm trying to think of examples on the fly here.
I'm just imagining somebody dropping into his live stream and Dan saying, so you spawn a sheep or you tame a sheep or build a sheep. It's like, okay, I'm gone.
I thought this was about YouTube channels. I'm confused. Hopefully that answers your question, though. Just make content that, is planned out. Like the more planning, the better. But hit record eventually. Don't get lost in planning forever. But it's Codes FN gave us a super. Thank you. Donnie Games. I am a Let's Play gaming channel. In your opinion, What is the length of a video that would be successful? However long it needs to be. I would say there's no wrong answer there. I've seen Let's Play videos that are over an hour, but they're heavily edited and well planned out, and people watch the whole hour. I'd recommend starting small, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to kind of, figure out what you're doing and how you want to do it. But yeah, there's definitely no specific answer that I can give that's like a blanket statement for every channel that's doing a gaming video.
When somebody asks what's the ideal length for a video, Sean Cannell from Think Media, his answer now is yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
2 minutes is good. 5 minutes is good. 37 minutes is good.
Yeah. We have JD3 Entertainment. How can I reach more LGBTQ gamers? That's my target.
So do you know your target audience? Now you have to be really strong with that value proposition in everything that you do. So you probably want to encapsulate this. You want to reach more LGBTQ gamers. Great. Okay. Why is a question. And actually, when I was going through the, we're just talking about it, the vidIQ app, the lessons, it starts to tease these things out of you. Because once you know what your value proposition is, in other words, what do you make, what type of content do you make and why, then you can start to use that as your North Star in the banner of your channel, the thumbnails, the titles, how you speak to your audience. It's developing a message and a voice that appeals to like-minded people who share your beliefs and you become a tribe. So the short answer is celebrate that as loudly as possible in everything that you do.
Yeah. So I had a coaching meeting yesterday with some people here at vidIQ, and we were talking about primal branding. So if you want to connect with the LGBT community, I think you really are going to have to tap into primal branding and kind of like what Rob alluded to, the way you talk to your audience, things that you do in your video, your title, not really your title, but even your titles, your thumbnails. Everything has to kind of be in sync if you want to reach that target audience. So just think about how you're presenting things and think about how you can integrate different aspects of that audience into your title, thumbnails, and your video presentation as a whole, because it all wants to be aligned if you are trying to reach that audience.
One example is you could maybe do something related to Pride, especially easy in design.
It is Pride Month, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So especially easy in design games, you can build something in a game. I don't know exactly what you're doing on your channel, but yeah, that could be like one avenue for you. It's demographic research, like what kind of games like would make the most sense for you to play. So yeah, there's a lot to it. I think each of us has touched on a lot of different points for you to kind of start with.
Let's give this as an example. Let's say this was a live stream that was focused on LGBTQ issues. Some of the subtle ways we could do this, Dan, your lights could have the rainbow pride colors effect, to reinforce that. I can't remember which part of primal branding that is. It's probably like rituals and icons.
Icon,
Like,
probably, yeah.
we're talking here about the Tim Schmoyer effect, by the way.
Yeah.
If you come into contact with Tim Schmoyer, who's like one of the godfathers of YouTube education, he will recommend that you read Primal Branding by, I can't remember the author's name
Patrick
off the top of my head. There you go. And he talks about 7 different aspects of what makes companies super recognizable and creates loyal audiences. And he's trying to inject that into content creators. And that we're going through that process right now. In some respects, we're trying to do it subtly. Like, one of the things that we want to try and do is give a name to our community, our audience. Like, way back, Emily D. Baker came up with the idea of calling our audience Vidiots. That hasn't stuck. Viper came up with a fairly solid one, which was, hey, thanks, Dan, vidIQ Nation, which is good. Feels a bit generic and, standard. So, if you have any ideas what you could call us, the collective vidIQ crew, because it's like, if we come up with it, we're kind of forcing it on the community. But if the community comes up with it, kind of feels more like a shared experience and story to tell in the future.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another idea of primal branding, that you're creating these connections.
Speaking of Emily, that's how her community came up with the law nerd terminology. They came up with it, not her. So, yeah.
I enjoy these streams, even though it's 1 a.m. in Australia. I use your AI for my videos. As a busy mom, it helps me speed up the process. Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie. And thanks for joining us. Just so anyone knows, this isn't just for Bonnie, but anybody. We do leave these streams up after the fact. So if you can't make it for the whole thing, you can always come back and watch later. And our community manager has been timestamping the stream, so you can see if your channel was reviewed. You can see what other types of channels were reviewed. So definitely check that out. Fit Life Revolution gave us a super, very generous. Thank you. Tennille, I hope I'm saying your name right. I think you gave us one earlier.
Second super chat, yeah.
Can you give examples of what small channels can do to start using the new requirements to their advantage? Things to sell, offers to make money, etc.
Yeah, this is a good question. Like, I don't know where I would start. I would feel really nervous asking my 500 subscribers to start, sending me super chats and stuff. But, I'm probably not the right person to ask then, am I, about how to best monetize. Viper, what do you reckon? Since you are very keen on this.
Here's the thing. If you want people to start funding you, it's just like growing a YouTube channel. Provide value. If you provide value, they will want to fund you because they will feel like your time and your information is worth paying for. So whether that looks like you maybe giving them follows on social media or something, or interacting with them more on social media, or providing some extra content outside of what you do on YouTube or whatever. Or maybe you have a Patreon or something like that. Something that provides extra value to your audience will make it very easy for you to try to ask for super chats or whatever. Also, I heard Jeff talk about how him and Travis, when people do super chat them, they have celebrations, like they play music or something, or they do a little super chat ritual when people give them money. Just something to make the people feel appreciative of the fact that they gave out money to them during super chat. So just make your audience feel valued, and I think that's the start of how you get funded.
Mm-hmm. We have a few more here. I do want to get back to channels, but let's just real quick welcome Speak to Existence as a new member. Ooh. Thank you very much. Enjoy your emotes. Overlord gave us a super, and let's see. Let's come back to the rest of these in a little while. Thank you for all of your supers.
Just before we move on, Dan, because I'll lose these if I don't do them now. So we've had some suggestions for what we would call a community. Ooh. So we've got the IQ crew.
I like that.
Vidmites.
Okay.
That sounds a little creepy. Vid commanders.
Ooh.
Vikers. Vidinators. That sounds like a cartoon from the 80s.
It does.
Vid Nation. I don't know if it's one, but let's just be the Australia gang. And is that it? I think that. Oh, there was this one. How about the creators? I think that's what Tim Schmoyer decided his tribe was called. He calls them creators, but that was when it was a much less used term, like five to 10 years ago. I could be wrong about that, but I always remember Tim welcomes his audience as creators.
So there's also a suggestion in the chat for Vic team. I would turn that into Team IQ. That's interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah, these are great. Thanks, everybody.
VidBytes, VidIQers, VidPop. We'll see.
All right. So, Viper, tell us about...
Vipies.
Anyway. Stop it. Y'all are wild.
Tell us about what you got going on Twitter.
Yeah, so every other week or pretty much every other week, or I do content on Twitter. So basically what happens that I have a thumbnail audit contest where I ask you all to audit each other's thumbnails, and whoever gets the most likes gets a channel audit. So last week we had Meme Plays, who won the contest because they got the most likes on their thumbnails. So we are going to be doing their channel audit. I would surmise right now.
Yes,
I guess so. There we go.
So thank you for following us on Twitter and participating. They are a Roblox channel, I want to say. They play a variety of different games. But I'm seeing Adopt Me. I'm seeing Pet Simulator. So from what I know,
how close are those two mods, Dan? Would you say? Well, I ask you as if you know everything about gaming. Do you know?
I would say that these are very similar games.
Okay.
They're all in Roblox, which is great. That's a good place. If you're going to be a Roblox creator and you want to branching out within the Roblox space is fantastic. And then Adopt Me and Pet Simulator are both games, if I understand them correctly, that are collecting games. Like you're collecting various pets.
Yep.
And, very adorable. Like a lot of people play these games. And so I would say that just with these top 4 videos here on your channel, these kind of all appeal to like that similar audience, which is the first big hurdle a lot of creators need to clear is I want to make content for like a very specific audience. There are some other ones here where I start to question, like, I'm just looking at the thumbnails. It is Adopt Me. I don't know what Rainbow Friends is. It looks like maybe I'm seeing a go-kart. So I don't know if that's in the same vein, but it did get quite a few views.
It's an outlier, isn't it?
Maybe Rainbow Friends is a better road to go down in terms of like what you're playing. Maybe it's newer. I know Adopt Me's been around for a long time now. I don't know how long Pet Simulator's been around. So I might be looking at this video and going, that's interesting. But you did get an Adopt Me video with 1,000 views here. A Danger Egg update. So videos about updates like to games, always a really good place to be. So that did very well. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend abandoning any of the 3 games. I would just be trying to figure out which ones are going to like be more consistent in terms of views. But I love that, like you say, you play a variety of games, which always kind of makes me nervous when the channel has like, not the most subscribers in the world, but 2,000. You're not. I wouldn't say you're a new creator, but yeah, you do seem to have a pretty good focus here, I would say. I want to see the popular videos.
I don't think the text aids the pitch of the videos when they use text in most of these.
Yes. Pet Simulator X free huge pet. Yeah. We don't really need the name Pet Simulator X. People who know the game probably know what
you should know it's the game from the graphics, I would have thought.
Yeah.
And then, okay, free huge pet. What is that on screen? Because it just looks to me like a character sat at a dinner table.
Yeah, where's the pet? Where's the huge pet? And then Pet Simulator X summer event is out now. So maybe a better pitch to this video would be like Pet Simulator X summer update, or trying to get the word update in there is probably always a good thing. And also this feels like the image you used is more of a generic kind of marketing image for the event and not one that you kind of took as a screenshot in the game, which is fine. You can do that, but I feel like if it would be more enticing to a viewer if it felt like, hey, like this is somebody who played the event. Look at the pets they've unlocked, just kind of signaling to them that like, I'm not just talking about the event. Like I'm going to show you parts of it. I'm going to show you how to get X or whatever it might be.
Let's drop the hashtags from the titles as well, because it's just cluttering things up.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like they're doing a whole lot. Some of the videos have a lot of views, and I can't say the hashtags are hurting anything, but I don't know. We kind of, what are we, title purists? We just want to see cleaner titles.
You can put them in the descriptions and they still serve the function that they're there for.
Yeah. I've noticed this is a trend among certain channels where they insist on putting hashtags in the titles. I think it's a TikTok thing. I think people see it on TikTok. It works on TikTok. It's a different system over there. YouTube doesn't do a lot with hashtags, and I don't know if they ever will. So it's better to just be nice and like straightforward with your title.
Yep.
Come on, Dan. Let's see if we can support the conspiracy theory. Let's go to shorts. Come on, 1,500 reviews.
So some popular ones, but
this one breaks a conspiracy.
Well,
if you go to latest, I think they were like sporadic, like all over the place.
I mean, if you want a channel audit it. I mean, look at how your shorts are doing. It seems to me you need to be focusing more on shorts than long form videos.
Yeah, you could definitely be doing a lot with shorts. Look at anything that got a lot of views in the past, really scrutinize it, try and figure out why did this one get so many views and the latest one didn't, and really be honest with yourself about why someone might have stopped scrolling. But yeah, this is, very impressive channel, 2,000 subscribers, some really big breakout successes on the long form side. Of just like 5 months ago, that was their biggest video ever. I'd be trying to learn everything I could about this for sure. And then you even have some here that cracked 4,000 views. That's really there's a lot of positive signals. And I think if this channel continues to improve its thumbnails and its titles, it's going to pop off. So there you go. Word. Okay, cool. We need to get into some randomly selected channels now. You've been submitting your channels on the forums linked down below. And now there's a chance they could get picked. We pick them with the claw.
Okay, why was everything just echoing like that? Is that newer?
That was me. I'm sorry. I should have pulled myself out because I have the sound.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry for that.
I'm like, wait a minute. Is that something new going on here?
No, that was just my bad. I didn't even pay attention. Anyway,
it's a miracle Dan's still here, Viper. After earlier.
Yeah, I spilled water all over my roadcaster and it's slowly breaking down. So that'll be an expensive problem I have to fix later. But
Dan's a soldier. He's going to carry on until the bitter end.
Yeah, until the last circuit pops. We have 619 responses on the non-gaming form.
My word.
581 responses.
That's 1,200.
That's a lot.
My word.
Yes. So I'm gonna. How much? 619. I'm gonna put up the claw to the number 620.
That's
and
risky.
It's going to pick out 54.
54.
600, we can pick 54.
World Traveler here. We have their channel, City Walking Tour videos. A very specific type of content, these videos. This is where we get into title and thumbnail advice that starts to differ from some of the stuff we've been talking about. Because we can look at some examples. So you'll see with these channels, a lot of times they put the 4K logo in the corner, trying to demonstrate that this isn't just a walking tour video. I bought a nice camera and did a walking tour. They are, I assume, going to these different cities and walking around. So they went to Budapest and Venice, and they just took a bunch of video and put it on their channel.
Question for Dan and Rob. Do we really feel like they need the 4K logo in the thumbnail? Because YouTube will tell the viewer the video 4K.
It is a good question. I think there's more of an argument to say yes for this topic, where people they want to experience the tour as if they were there. So a higher resolution sells it a bit more. Having said that, it is a very, very old tactic at this point. And people have been doing this, I'd say, for about a decade. So I don't hate the idea, Viper, but I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah. I've seen it before, is kind of what I was getting at. So I think the best thing we can do is think of a big city, like NYC walking tour. And you kind of get an idea of some of the videos and some of the channels that are doing well in the space. These are, of course, your competition, but you can learn a lot. This one here, 4K Urban Life, is putting 4K logos in their thumbnails. I'd say the images they're using are really interesting. in a lot of these. Like this one especially has
that
like,
one really sells the video.
yes, the 4K-ness of the video.
Yeah.
3 hours long. You know, this is a very common length for these videos, 1 hour, 3 hours. These are kind of videos you'd put on in the background sometimes. And it kind of like, if you have a nice TV, these are actually really nice to just have on, you know, just looking at like life moving around in the city. I'm noticing with these thumbnails, almost all of them contain people, which is very interesting. I was not expecting that. I was expecting buildings, and this channel has people in them, but they really try and zoom out and get an entire building in the shot.
Yeah.
But think about it this way. Now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm kind of realizing why you might do a shot more like in the actual city. When you think Budapest, this building might come to mind because it's a landmark, right? Like it's kind of like saying I'm going to do a walking tour of Paris and the thumbnail's the Eiffel Tower. Like, cool, but I haven't been to Paris before, and I know there's more to see than the Eiffel Tower. So if you were on a busy street and you could see the unique architecture up close and the people that are walking around, that would almost give you a better selling point for the video, because it's not just I'm going to give you a generic video about Paris. I'm going to give you a video that is me on the ground. Like, what's it going to look like through your eyes if you come and visit this place? And that's what those other New York City walking tour videos had. They had that vibe. Like, here's a New York City walking tour where I'm going to like let you like see it in first person.
It's alive.
Yes, exactly. This is a real place you can go to, not just the pictures you've seen on the internet. This is like a real place. This is like a street on New York. You can see the Five Guys restaurant here. You can see buses, tons of people. Like, that's intriguing to someone who's like maybe never been to a big city before. So I'm just making this up on the spot, I'll admit, but this is kind of where my mind is going. Like, why are those thumbnails so busy? And these ones, these videos aren't doing as well when they've gone out of their way to make these really nice, clear thumbnails. I think that might be the reason.
Can you just sort by most popular, Dan? I'm just curious if there's any outstanding videos.
The largest video on the channel kind of plays out, doesn't it? This is like on the ground, first person. I'm going to walk on this bridge and take the thumbnail image.
An interesting shot. Yeah, an interesting thumbnail shot.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe where the creator wants to start with finding like the perfect picture that captures the essence, not zoomed back of just a famous landmark, something that's more curious and interesting, I think. The challenge is as these walking tour videos are being done ad nauseum at this point. So it's I'm not going to say it's a super competitive, oversaturated market, because I don't know if that is the case, but people are very familiar with this content, so they're probably going to go to channels that they're already familiar with. So you're having to break through here, which can be a challenge.
Yeah,
I don't see what's different here versus other walking tour.
I love that they seem to have access to these famous cities. Maybe they make it out there a lot, and that's awesome. I would continue testing things out, but what if you took your latest couple of videos here, which did okay, and you changed the thumbnails to one from the video, a nice first person view of a lot of action. So your latest thumbnail is an example. You have a lot of people, but you still took it from a zoomed out view. Like, get in there. Like, show me what it would look like if I was walking down a busy street in Vienna. I just change the thumbnail and see. Like, that's one test you can do for the next video you put out. Try it again, so you get a nice fresh video out there with that initial surge of views, and really see how it performs compared to the ones you've done before. YouTube will tell you if it's going to be a 1 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, anywhere between. So that is, yeah, that's really interesting. Titles of the thumbnails when in this niche, I think, are everything, because you're not going to hear them talk in this video. I mean, most of these walking tours are silent in the sense that no music, no talking. It is just walking, just with a nice steady camera, just that ASMR, the visual ASMR of just walking through a city. So standing out's hard. This is a tough space to be in. But hey, good start. I mean, hundreds of views, way over your subscriber count, and a lot of information here, so you can kind of test some stuff out. All right, ready for the next one? The CLAAAW.
Yes.
All right,
let's do it.
Okay, so we have almost 600 gaming channels now. This is like a record for gaming channels lately. We haven't seen this in a while.
You change the number every time, Dan. Oof.
I've been finding it's more accurate when you do that, but
You know what that is, Dan, because gaming is kind of exploding right now. It's all good game coming out the latter half of the year.
that's true. This is a good time for gaming for sure. A shorts channel. Rene has sent us their shorts channel, 160 subscribers.
Hey.
They say they're doing let's plays. How would a let's play on a YouTube short work? That's interesting.
Hey, Rene. Hey, Rone.
So they are doing long form. Oops, they are doing long form videos. I want to click on shorts, but I'm being attacked by a cat. There we go.
Was this a German channel? It's a German channel.
Okay. So we can't understand what's going on, but let's click on one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Unlogische Dinge in Videospielen. Als erstens Pokémon. Ihr habt doch bestimmt schon mal einen Sonderbonbon gefunden und euch riecht.
Interesting. They're doing a Pokemon video, but they're walking around in Minecraft.
Yeah, where's the Pokemon?
Maybe, unless it's the Pokemon mod for Minecraft. I'm not really sure. No, they're showing like items. So they wanted something on the screen, some gameplay, and they just wanted to use images from Pokemon. I would definitely want Pokemon as like the main A-roll footage on this content. But no, now they're talking about Minecraft. Maybe not. If we spoke German, maybe we'd understand.
Yeah, there's a language barrier here, but I think editing-wise, it's sharp. There's a human voiceover, yay, in a shot.
Yep.
I felt even though like I couldn't follow what was going on, it felt like a good short for the gaming audience that they're trying to speak to.
I did too. And like, look, 3.5K views is really, really great when your last one got 13 views.
Yeah, spiky.
Really strong for 160 subscribers. I'm not unpopular. This is the latest video.
Look at that. 3 shots in a row with 1,500 views. I'm telling you, Dan, something's going on here.
This is like, maybe it's the new 301. Remember 301?
That's right. It just freezes after 1,500.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, we'll figure it out.
Oh, dear.
This is really strong. I'd be looking at a channel like this. If you're a gaming channel doing shorts, look at what they're doing differently. A voice comes on immediately. It tells you what the heck is going on, and they use a lot of editing. You know, we're not lingering on one shot for too long. It's just a lot of energy, a lot of editing, solid audio quality. They obviously haven't spilled water all over their soundboard, which is really good to see. So yeah, it's like no wonder to me like shorts like this are kind of like popping off for them.
Yeah, so it's these 2 Minecraft ones in particular. There's a weird outlier of a 13 views one, but these 2 got like thousands of views, which is promising.
Yeah.
And it's just occurred to me that there's probably a generation of people watching this live stream right now who have no idea what we're talking about when we said 301. And that makes me feel really, really old.
Look it up. I don't know if you guys have anything to add. I think we just kind of complimented the channel a lot. But I think they have enough data to know kind of what's working and what's not. Tears of the Kingdom is a tough one. It's just very, very, very popular. So a lot of people are doing shorts on it. I can see why these wouldn't go as far as like, you know, the Pokemon Minecraft ones, especially like.
Gaming mashup is interesting if I can find a unique angle and continue to push down in that area.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only thing I would say, looking at your long form videos, we got Mario Odyssey, we got Zelda, we got Minecraft, we got Pokemon. It's great that you love all these things. It's just the lack of channel focus is kind of present here. I would say that Mario Odyssey and Minecraft, you're not going to find as much crossover, you know, in that audience. We're talking about a game that is primarily played on PC. It's played on everything now, but I think Minecraft, I think PC. Mario Odyssey is exclusively Nintendo Switch. So you have kind of an audience, you know, breakdown there. And the thumbnails aren't bad. They just kind of feel generic, I guess. It's Mario running through a level. So in the logo, the Mario Odyssey logo. So like, I don't really, without reading the title, because I can't, I'm kind of wondering what the point of the video is. Maybe you could be communicating a clearer message. This looks like maybe a challenge because I see like a rainbow wheel here and a skull and crossbones. You know, could you have communicated that challenge a little bit differently? So yeah, doing some thumbnail title research and trying to focus on like one specific audience for your long form content would help a lot. But I think what you're doing in shorts is really, really strong, and I would continue experimenting for sure.
Viper, does Dan keep cutting out for you, or is it just me and it's happening to?
I hear him.
Okay, cool.
Oh, really? Okay.
You're freezing a couple of times, but it might be my end that's doing it.
Okay.
Not to worry.
We'll see if it maybe I drop soon. All right, next channel.
So Fallscape, we kind of are, yes, but the entire platform used to function in a way where videos would just freeze at 301 views for a certain period of time as YouTube audited the views. Because views all used to come from different servers and they needed to come to one server to collate all of those views. Hasn't been for a while now. But yeah, there is one video that's, I think YouTube got one of the videos to get stuck on 301 because it explained how it worked.
Can I turn over super chats to you for a minute while I take a very brief break?
Yes, you can. All right, let's look at some super chats. Ooh. And now I'm going to play some music and to get us in a super chat mood. All right. No, that's the wrong music. It's that one. That's the intro music. Right. Okay. So Viper, we have the following super chats that look a little bit like this. West Coast UTD. I am a FIFA tutorials gaming channel, and lately I was using voiceovers instead of my voice. Good or bad?
Are you using like AI voiceovers, or
I think we would assume that is the case, yeah.
If you are, I would recommend you use your own voice just because it's more authentic. I mean, again, as I tell you guys all the time, you're on YouTube. People want you. They don't want an AI voice. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we tend to advocate for your own voice because it automatically provides some originality. In the short space, that is kind of more of an accepted approach, given the TikTok generation. It can depend, though. But yeah, we would personally recommend adding your own voice and style to every video that you possibly can. Fit Life Revolution, I think that's another $1 super chat. These may be coming through as super stickies. We don't see it in StreamYards, unfortunately. The next super chat comes from Google Eyes. Made a video, took over a week to make, lots of assets, majestic waterfall, relaxing nature video, relax. Okay, I guess you're just advertising your video on our live stream through a super chat. If people want to go and relax, go ahead. And another super chat from Fit Life Revolution. Need help with auditing my channel? $10. We do say in that introductory video at the start that super chats do not influence whether or not we actually audit channels. So apologies that we can't audit your channel.
We cannot be bribed, people. We cannot be bribed.
I personally can, but vidIQ as the entity cannot be bribed. Lego is a particular weakness of mine. Overlord, love your content. Any tips to improve my channel? My message didn't get through in the last super chat for some reason. It might be because the super chat is not at a certain level. I think it's got to be like $2 or more.
We tell you guys every week, super chats do not get your channel looked at. You have to submit your channel in the form in the description, y'all.
If I was to give you some advice, I'm not a particular fan of including numbers in channel names, like Overlord 0RD. If that's the one piece of possible advice I would give you, just from what we can see there. And Dan, DG UK Sims, with the new YPP options, can you recommend the most efficient way of integrating merch into your YouTube community and channel?
Okay, so merch. My recommendation. Now, I'm going to assume you're not meaning a tutorial on actually how to do it. There's plenty of those out there. My recommendation is to get merch that represents a theme in your community culture. Okay, like so you have hopefully a community of people that are rallying around your content, and you have recurring themes. Maybe you call them a specific name. Maybe there's a joke that's always coming up in videos. These make really great t-shirts and mugs and things like that. What I don't want to see is just your logo on a mug. Some people will buy that, and that's great, but make it something that people would want to wear outside of their house. They want to go out shopping, and you want them wearing like a shirt that they actually want to wear. Like your logo doesn't mean a whole lot to someone who doesn't know what your channel is, but something that has like something funny on it or something like that that anyone can kind of relate to, that's going to be really, really strong. And then maybe conversations strike up like, oh, I love that shirt. Where'd you get that? Oh, it's this YouTuber I watch. You know, go check him out. Like that to me is way more engaging for merch than just logo on shirt. So that's my advice. We
have thought in the past about selling these. eat, sleep, create, repeat shirt. But I don't think we use that particular phrase enough in our videos. It's cool to have on conference floors and people will hand them out at conferences, but I don't think we have a strong enough connection with them to sell here. Dan and I have been thinking about getting shirts which say hosting and coasting because we swap our live stream responsibilities. But who would that appeal to? Would it be just for live, 2 team live streamers who share responsibilities each week? That's quite a niche audience. But yeah, that's another thing about primal branding. We're also trying to think about different slogans and catchphrases that we can maybe introduce into our content that we could then potentially monetize. But it's always in the back of our minds, not the forefront of our minds, due to the nature of how we're educating our audience.
Right.
I hand it back to you, Dan, the responsibilities.
Thank you. There. Okay. Wait. Okay. I made it for my mom, and it's so ill. That's all.
This creator just did a super chat, which was basically advertising people to watch a video. It just had a video title on it.
Okay, gotcha. And then
Apple.
Bean Man, Apple.
Android is my counter to that.
We're starting that fight again. All right. Thank you all for your supers. As we get close to wrapping up here, we may not be able to read any more out, but we do appreciate the support on the channel. Let's look at another randomly selected channel, courtesy of the CLAAAW. We have 644 now on the non-gaming side.
Also, shout out to the 682 of you all currently watching the live stream. We appreciate y'all being here, so thank you for that.
All right, Dan, I want to hand over the reins to Viper to lead on this channel audit because I don't think he's had an opportunity yet. So it's a non-gaming channel, fingers crossed. So yeah, Viper, your initial thoughts on this one?
No, okay, can we go back up towards the banner? No Trade Studios, family, comedy, art, fun. Okay. Number one, I feel like you are concentrating on too many things. You got family, comedy, art, fun. I think you need to simplify that a little bit because it kind of makes it difficult for me as a potential viewer to understand what to expect from your particular channel. Now going into the actual video, the thumbnails for the most part look pretty good for the top row anyway. Although I will say that one in the middle, the prime hydrate one, that seems a little bit confusing. That one is a little bit too busy for me, but the Where Did He Go, the eating disorder one, and the squishmallows, those thumbnails are pretty good in my opinion. I like those thumbnails. Now if we take a look at the titles, I don't. So for the transform, no, it's a spectrum of trouble. My life with autism and eating. Okay, I understand that. The case of the disappearing cow, though, that doesn't really connect with me. What is special about the cow? Like, do you have a special connection to it, or does the cow have some special meaning to you? Like why should I care that it disappeared? So I need a little bit more emotional context in that particular title. Let's see. Look at these other videos. We got a cue the story time again. What does that mean? A cue the story time. I don't know what that means. You got prime hydration, and then the variety, the range of videos on the channel, it kind of throwing me off a little bit. I understand it, but it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But I would say probably my biggest critique outside of the variety content is working on titles that have more meaning to a potential viewer. Because what you have to ask yourself as you're putting videos out on YouTube is why should somebody else watch it? And the why should be pretty clear in your title and thumbnail. If I can't understand as a viewer why this video should matter to me, I'm not going to click on it. So I need you to try to figure out how to bring more meaning in your titles and thumbnails to a potential viewer.
I've got a red flag here, Dan. Just scroll down a little bit. I want to see the view counts, just generally speaking, from a couple of months ago. In the thousands, right?
17K and 13K.
There are a couple of that are in a few hundreds. And I've also got 10,000 subscribers as well, or just under. Right, if you scroll back to the top. So if you look at the last range of videos, they're all like sub 500, some sub 100. But then like 1 month ago, 1,800, 500, 5,000. Scroll down a little bit more. They were in the thousands, and then all of a sudden they've just collapsed completely. Now, I'm not saying this is a red flag. I mean, the channel's done something wrong. It's just like, what has happened there? Something has changed, but I don't know what. Like this, I'm just throwing this out there as a complete guess. I think this channel is made for kids. Just looking at the thumbnails on some of these, and maybe they were naively saying that the content was not made for kids, and now YouTube maybe has done something. That's just like a bit of a conspiracy theory, trying to work out why all of a sudden the views have dropped off. Can we watch one of the videos and just check the engagement rate?
I have one thing to add to that, though.
Yeah.
When you think about, like, so you have these really animated thumbnails, accused, true story, like maybe this is safe for kids, right? But when you look at the Prime Energy one, now the problem with made for kids is that if you're going to make content for kids, you can't advertise to them, and this almost looks like it could be advertising. So if YouTube's algorithm picked this up, they might not have put it on the kids feed.
So is there some fully animated content and then some real?
Yes, there's like the real content with their kids and stuff, and then there's like more animated.
Okay, so there's a very potential different audience there as well.
Yeah, I feel like they're constantly hitting different audiences, but like Viper was kind of alluding to. But I also feel like you might be right about the YouTube Kids thing, because these types of view spikes do feel like they would, fall into that category of like going into the YouTube Kids algorithm. But that algorithm is really strict. Like your content has to be a certain way for it to always go there. So if you're advertising something, even though you're not pitching it as an ad, you could still find yourself maybe not in that feed that day.
So just click on the animated one with 5,000 views. I'm curious, like, the views blocked.
Hey guys, it's time in for another true story time, and this one's a bit of a doozy. But
just mute it for a sec.
Okay, so then
good vibe there.
You've got 80 likes. Just scroll down. Are the comments disabled? So when the comments aren't disabled, that says that the content is not made for kids. I'm right in thinking, yeah.
However, there are instances on YouTube where YouTube, even if you put not made for kids, YouTube will determine, well, it actually, like, this does fit with our kids' content, and they'll put it on there for you.
Yeah, and then if you go like to this Prime Hydration one, which feels like it is more targeted towards children, like from the thumbnail.
Zero comments.
Not zero comments.
Say disabled.
Yeah. I could be completely wrong about this, but it feels like a channel that's made for kids. And the evidence here seems to suggest that they're not being labeled as made for kids. And I don't know if that's just impacted the discovery of this content. Like, what's the most popular video, for example?
Unicorn Party Island.
Okay, so there's nothing that's got tons of views to suggest the high subscriber count. Let's just look at shorts. Is there a short that went viral? No. Okay, so has content been deleted?
Possibly.
Again, I'm getting too caught up in the numbers don't add up in my head investigation of a channel rather than maybe looking at the strategy. So I apologize for that.
No, it's all right. I think we touched on strategy, and I do think that's an interesting discussion. Look into your analytics, see if you're getting views from YouTube Kids. I think it's in there as YouTube Kids, and you might get a sense of like what content is kind of allowed over there and what's not. If you've gotten picked up by that algorithm, even though you're putting not for kids in your content, it could still end up over there. That's a thing I've seen happen. But yeah, okay. I think that brings us to the wrap-up point. There are a couple of supers we can look at real quick.
Yeah, let's do them super quick.
Better use your face as a channel avatar rather than a logo. It depends, in my opinion. Yep.
I would say this: if I was a single entity at vidIQ, I would use my face, because going back to primal branding, I would be like the leader, the main face of a channel. I think when people see my face making a comment, that would be better for my brand. But obviously, vidIQ is a company and their brand is more important than me.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about. His face is everywhere, all over our brand. What is he talking about?
The channel logo.
Yeah, specifically the channel logo.
Yeah. Okay, well, your face is everywhere, dude. What are you talking about?
Maybe we should do it for one day, like just me with this face. see if anybody notices.
Top luxury TV. Love the content as always. I have a question. I always ask my viewers to subscribe about 5 minutes in when I provide value, but the subs lack. Tips?
I think it's the right approach for me.
Yeah, it's the right approach, but see if you can move it up closer to the beginning of the video. Not at the very beginning, but see if you can provide value at closer to the beginning and then add for the subscriber count.
Does it take you 5 minutes to provide any value at all? Like, how long are your intros? You know, and maybe you're like, no, that's not what I meant, and that's okay. But just as a general tip, like, if your video has a lot of fluff at the beginning, trim it. You know, like get to the point as fast as you can.
Also, what's the ask? If it's just a lower third on screen, that's not enough.
Yeah.
You need to like take 5 to 10 seconds out of a video to say, I hope you're enjoying this video about luxury TVs. If you want to find out more about, if you want to learn about more luxury people and their super yachts, make sure to subscribe because that's what we're covering next. More of an incentive to subscribe.
Yeah, give them that like very specific reason as to why. What are they going to miss if they don't?
Yep.
All right. So thank you for all of your supers.
Hold on, Dan. Before we go, I want to go into overtime for a minute if we can, because Broad brought up a very amazing point earlier, and I want to highlight that because I feel like it's very important as it relates to the update to the monetization program that YouTube rolled out. Rob brought up a very good point that just because you all have access to fan funding doesn't mean you're going to automatically be ranking in the duel, because what Rob was saying is that you need to have a plan. Like, how are you going to get your audience to fund you via super chats or super thanks or channel membership? It's just not going to happen automatically just because you have access. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a plan. And like I said earlier, the way to do that is to make sure that you're providing value to your audience. Because if you're not providing value, they're not going to fund you. I mean, some of them might fund you just because they rock with you and they like you. But by and large, if you want to make funding on a substantial level on a consistent basis, make sure you're providing value and figure out how to do that. Have a plan in place to do that. And I think you will be much better off with the fan funding features that YouTube has now implemented.
I didn't hear a word you said. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Sorry, I should be standing.
Rob, I don't know if you saw him the whole time, just being very disrespectful.
It's the outro dance music. I'm contractually obligated to do this.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week. Normal time. Tuesday. Yes. We will see you soon. I'm looking for the outro. What is that?
Hot. That's the heat I'm dancing in.
Woo! Is that a picture of you in that thing, that thermometer?
No, it's a baby thermometer. I don't know. Like, I could only buy one with a baby's face in it. It's quite funny.
Do you tape it to the baby? How does it work?
I don't know. Just like that. Dan, outro. Go. Let's go.